So there are two dudes in the MCU that are constantly just throwing illusions around, trying to trick, manipulate everyone around them. It's Loki and Mysterio. So, figured, why not throw these two dudes head to head? See who's the best of the best. It's Loki versus Mysterio. So who's coming out on top? Who wins? Let's find out. Okay, so I love Loki. I think everybody loves Loki. I mean, how can you not love Loki? But let's actually show some love to Mysterio first. And first off, just props to Jake Gyllenhaal. Amazing performance, absolutely killed it. So much fun to watch. Love you, Jake. But beyond that, well, Quentin Beck is Mysterio, the soldier from Earth 833, an Earth that was destroyed by four elemental beings. When the elementals had all but one taken over the world, Beck escaped to Earth 616, where he's able to contact S.H.I.E.L.D. and Spider-Man to help try and stop the elementals before they can wreak their havoc on this world as well. No, of course that's not true. But does make for a good story, though.
The story you created of a soldier from another Earth named Quentin fighting space monsters in Europe is totally ridiculous and apparently exactly the kind of thing people will believe right now.
The real Quentin Beck was a Stark employee who pioneered an incredibly lifelike holographic technology that Tony Stark promptly called BARF,
God, I gotta work on that acronym.
and then he tossed it in the trash. Beck was then laid off for being sorta, kinda, completely insane, and ended up creating his own team of ex Stark employees to make their own superhero. A superhero named Mysterio. By combining his holographic technology with cloaking weaponized drones, Mysterio can make absolutely flawless illusions. Like, seriously, these things are so freaking good. I mean, they're just on point. He's got it locked down to the tiniest, most minuscule detail. And don't you dare give him time to repair and lay out his big ol' illusion beforehand. Because if you let him do that, well, he's just gonna clown on you, just like he did with Spider Man. I mean, seriously, he just goons on Peter, starting with Fury picking him up to ending where a train carries him off. And it's not just the insane acid trip that Mysterio sends him down, but everything is so thought out and methodical, to where Mysterio is actually putting illusions in strategic places to make Spider Man actually hurt himself by attacking. I mean, just bravo. Masterclass right there. The only way you can see through his illusions is if you manage to get inside of them, which, seeing as how they're just holographic projections, that's completely possible. Of course, it's also pretty easy to see through them if you got your own Peter Tingle,
Please do not start calling it my Peter Tingle.
or some sort of other magical sixth sense. But even if you get through the illusions, those drones he's got flying around can still pack a punch. They're busting up buildings and bridges, little European fairs. Those drones even destroyed a small town. One drone was enough to send Spider Man flying, then sent him flying even further. They were destroying buses and blowing around cars, even blowing up jets. Like I said, packing a punch. But outside of all that, strip all the illusions and fancy drones and everything away from him, Quentin is just a guy, just a man. Question is that going to come back and bite him, considering he's going up against a god? And man, Loki will definitely let you know he's a god too. He's going to tell everyone every chance he gets. He's not going to let you forget it. He's the god of mischief, But like Mobius said in the first episode, a lot of the stuff he does isn't very mischievous. Now, if I'm gonna defend Loki though, he also does a whole lot of mischievous stuff too. So probably call it 50-50. He's at least trying to live up to his name sometimes.
Father?
Oh shit.
So, like Mysterio, Loki is just a master of illusions, making decoys of himself, actually making tons of decoys of himself, and he's constantly using these illusions to get the drop on people, to sneak around, or just lure guys into traps.
Are you ever not going to fall for that?
He doesn't just make illusions of himself either. But the biggest thing is that, unlike Mysterio's illusions, which are literally just illusions, they're not real, Loki's magic is very much real. Very much so. He can use telekinesis, influence people's minds. Thor even said that Loki can completely transform into other things.
One time when we were children, he transformed himself into a snake, and he knows that I love snakes. So I went to pick up the snake to admire it, and he transformed back into himself, and he was like, "Yeah, it's me!" And he stabbed me. We were 8 at the time.
So, just to check in, here's where I'm at right now. I think it's really cool that Loki's actually using legit magic. But if I'm just gonna go off of who's got the better illusions, well, I think that one definitely has to go to Mysterio. I guess tech beats magic here. And I mean, until we see Loki using his illusions to do stuff like this, or like this, or like this, I'm gonna stand by that. And now, granted, I'm also completely willing to change my mind here if Loki actually does show us this stuff. As of right now, we're only episode 1 into Loki, so it's completely possible that he does some stuff to take back that illusion crown. But as for now, Mysterio is gonna reign king. I mean, he's just doing king shit. However, that actually doesn't mean I think he'd win a fight here. Because remember, this is still man versus God. Turns out being a man is definitely going to come back to bite Quentin. I mean, just take a look at Loki physically for a second. No, not like that.
Now, hang on just a minute.
But the boy's strong. In fact, Loki's strong enough to fight frost giants and dark elves and undead soldiers. He's fought against Captain America, even fought against Valkyrie and Thor for a little bit. On top of that, just take a look at how tough he is.
Ow.
He's taken the Rainbow Bridge exploding, shots from Hawkeye and blasts from Iron Man. The guy's actually legit bulletproof. He's taken hits from Thor and Mjolnir, even a pretty serious beating from Hulk. Loki is superhuman. We can't forget that. Take that, combine his intelligence and his own magic, and I'd favor Loki more often than not. He'll see through the illusions eventually, just like Peter did. He's gonna have his own illusions going on, and what's stopping him from sneaking up and stabbing Mysterio in the back? Seems to be one of his favorite things to do.
Loki, I've studied almost every moment of your entire life. You've literally stabbed people in the back like 50 times.
Why never do it again?
Now, I'm not saying Loki is infallible. He can be tricked, he can be manipulated, he can be beaten. But I think he's just been at this longer. He's still an Asgardian god. And I don't think Mysterio and his drones are to change that. I don't think they're enough to bring him down. The God of Mischief is coming out on top here. Loki wins. But what do y'all think? I would love to hear your thoughts, so sign off in the comments down below. What do you think about Loki with the first episode? Are you excited for more? Also, be sure, hit that like button, the subscribe button, turn notifications, join the DanCo army, and I will see y'all next time.